After quite a few excursions in the countryside, I guess, a few little areas we've explored, an ancient maze, a temple, I think we looked at a few religions as well. Yeah, just kind of been all over the place, but it's time to continue the main quest for a bit. We've pretty much done most of what we can do here. Can I Mario walk? No, of course not. But I need to talk to Ranvar again. Greetings, traveler. Hello, Ranvar. Do you want to speak? Of course. What do you need? I need to find your father. And he knows what's going on here. This is an old and dark business. The business of my father. As I am his heir, it falls to me to make it right. But I know not what to do. He told me so little. What happened to your father, Ranvar? Visibly shaken. My father, the great and solid Randver Thunder Stone, king of the Dwarves. Do you know him, stranger? The stories of his courage, of his strength, of his wisdom? My father is stone among stones. From out of the madness of the clan wars, he united us under one banner, under one king, through sheer power of his will. The clan wars? Yes, a sad time in our history. For 500 years there was a rift among the dwarves. We built great machines of war, threw ourselves against one another, and entire clans were lost in battles. A dark time. The time of Lorek's insanity. We speak very little at that time. Who's Lorek? I said I'd often speak of it. That's a conversation for another time, perhaps. Where's Loghaire, Ranvir? What happened to him? He had broke his heart. That heavy stone heart. He who warred against Lorek the that name, in the pass of Gorgoth. Who in victory burned Lorek alive, along with 10,000 of his dwarven followers. And this broke him like a child upon the stones of the world. Is that the ice cream van? There appears to be an ice cream van going outside right now. I may be talking about my father, but ice cream does sound quite nice. I agree, doggo. Please, Ranvir, I need to know what has happened here. Ranvir calms himself. I'm probably butchering his word completely. It is as the Orbender told you. My father permitted the banishment of his own people by the elves. He watched them sent away, heard their cries, with hardness born of 100 generations of thunderstones. I like how he's darting around the question. Where is he? My father came home and upon his knees cried out for his lost foolish brethren. Tears of regret, stranger. Regret, shame, and sorrow. The cavern shook with his fury, shook at the impact of his hands upon the bare stone. He tore the clothes from his body and set his bulk against the walls and floors, and the sorrow was marked in blood. And then? I told you, he left us, walked into the old caverns with nothing but harrow. First axe of the Thunderstones. That sounds like Thundercats to me. I keep wanting to say Thundercats. And with the weapon he disappeared. Exiled by his own grief, left the Wheel Clan. He never returned. What do the rest of the clans say? The other clans never knew that the elves were involved in the banishment. They were only told that the Black Mountain clan had been exiled, punished for their crimes, and my father was the only one present when their sentence was passed. And what of Gilbert Bates? What role did he play? Bates! It was Bates who spread technology and its disease. And who are we to blame him? Humans! Cursed to brevity, lacking patience, lacking discernment. I spent human lifetimes deciding on what type of stone to use in a mural. And look what they've done in only a few turns of the moon. And with all these elves, and with this, these elves came to us. Speaking of punishments. The elves? What was their role in this? The elves? It was they who demanded the banishment of the Black Mountain clan for their crimes. But as for the reasons, as I said, I know very little. My father never told me. The details of the discussions with them only had been decided what was necessary, and that the responsibility would be his. Who were these elves? What crimes? I have no idea. I know not why my father left it unnecessary. I know why my fuck. Let me try again. So sorry. I have no idea. I know not why my father held it necessary to speak with them, nor heed their demands. As king, my father never should have allowed them to interfere, but for some reason he allowed it. He never spoke a word about it since. I'm leaving now for some reason. Don't speak. I have a few questions about what you told me so far, but an ice cream van is still nearby. Tell me of when your father left, alright? You know the Black Mountain clan was banished, and you know the elves were involved. When we returned from banishment, my father's shame at the incident drove him into exile. I need some more clarification on our issue. Okay. We'll get to that. What happened after your father left? I told you. He left us. Walked into the old caverns, nothing but harrow first acts of the Thunderstones. Yeah, okay, we've been for that. What had technology done to the elves? I've no idea. And I know not what. That's... okay, yep. It seems I need to have to speak with Laguerre. Where is he? I told you. He exiled himself. He walks into the Dredge and has never returned. The Dredge? What is it? Where can I find it? The Dredge is an old system of caverns. A mine, actually. Not far from here. The entrance is just beyond the entrance of these chambers, to the southwest. There you will find a stone archway. Beyond that you'll find the Dredge, to which my father disappeared. What can I expect to find in this, Dredge? Right now, it serves little purpose to house an assortment of foul creatures. There's a minecart tracks and an occasional storeroom. No one ventures there anymore, so I don't know anything beyond that. I'm confused. Why exactly was your father so ashamed? It's a complicated discussion, friend. A very long one. I'm not sure we'll be fully able to understand. Will your mental powers up to the task? Perhaps you're correct. I don't know if you need intelligence for this one, but we'll see. I think this is important, though. I think I might be able to get something out of this. We'll see, anyway. Perhaps you're correct. Fine. My father's reasons for leaving are tied up in ageless traditions. Truly, in his opinion, he had no option other than to leave his clan. He was only doing what he saw was his only choice. You said his opinion. Do you disagree with his choice? Perhaps you ask this later, once you've heard what I had to say. Of course, please continue. You were talking about tradition? Perhaps tradition is the wrong word. Philosophy might be the better one, though we dwarves rarely consider ourselves philosophers. A philosophy, as most know it, infers certain amounts of its subjective opinion, and particular open-mindedness towards other trains of thought. What I speak of is different. What looks like you're referring to? I'm talking about the stuff of dwarven souls, the tenets we live by, our moral fiber. Though morality plays no part in it. Mortality, plays no part in it. Not mortality as most know it. What I speak of, friend, is what is known as the stone and shape. Continue, please. To be a dwarf, what does that mean? Our character is defined through the immovability, the solidity of stone. We dwarves see the soul not as something ethereal, I can't say that fucking word, or transistent, but as rooted in this reality as the mountains on which we carve our homes. Do you understand? Clearly. You're speaking of dwarven commonality. Yes, I speak both metaphorically and literally. We are dwarves, and there is so much about us that is like the stone. We feel no more at home than when it surrounds us. It carries us to... and it carries to us the roar of the great molten flows, or the slow whine of the subterranean ocean rivers, or when it's all quiet, mountain whispers so steeped in age that even the stars were young when they were first spoken. And so, to understand this, to understand a part of what makes us dwarves, these loves are immovable and unchangeable, so we are like the stone. I see. What about the shape? The shape is what forms us, what defines our being and our purpose, and the way we say and do. As there are many types of stone, there are many... so there are many types of... many shapes, sorry. Granite for bricks, and shale for oil stones, and marble for statues, and crystal for the fragile and the precise. Wait, is it the shape that defines what the stone becomes? This is the most important concept. One cannot exist without the other. To a certain degree, shape does define what the stone becomes. Flint makes a good striking stick, but the reverse is just as true. You can't make a good striking stick without flint. Shape arises from stone, but stones depend upon shape. Do you understand? I want to make sure of this. I want to make sure I understand this. It is perhaps stated most simply in this way. A slate will flake and crack under the sculptor's chisel. So will a dwarf who knows not his purpose, knows his shape. So stone and shape defines your mortality. Precisely. You seem to understand this very well. Dwarven morality. I keep saying morality, I keep saying mortality. Mortality, the choices we make are at the most basic level, is defined by us being dwarves. Work, ethic, love of family, respect of wisdom, these are our mortality. I can't see the rest of the letters on this. I think it's morality. But it might be morality, I don't know. No, mort. It is morality. Oh, okay. My bad. Apologies. We see them as not as choices, because as dwarves is merely being who we are. Stone is the existence of these things. Shape is their expression. I see, but fate seems to be playing a very large role here. If what you mean is that we are fated from birth to be a particular kind of person, you are incorrect, though I can see where you would make that connection. I said only that the shape must be true to your stone. The use of the word fate preserves a single unalterable line. Door's purpose is a room with many doors. So, stone and shape, in terms of your father. My father left us because he felt he had betrayed both his stone and his shape. He felt that allowing the elves to banish his brethren was a betrayal of his stone, the same act that was also a betrayal of his shape, being king of the dwarves. Without either, he was empty. What of Lorik the Aperture? Lorik was a dwarf who had betrayed his stone. He believed that his clan was better than no other dwarves, and because of this, they felt they were fit to rule. Anyone who opposed him was put to death. His words were evil, but he spoke them well. Many a dwarf followed him, and many more died because of it. Lorik's stone was flawed, and his shape could be no different. Well spoken, my friend. Your wisdom is beyond your years. And what's your opinion on your father's choice? There are times, my friend, when the choices we are forced to make cannot be true to both stone, to shape, and the stone. I have thought long and hard on the issue, and I have not the answers. But I know my father is a dwarf among dwarfs. There is a saying among us, weigh your own stone. It is not for me to decide. Thank you, Ranvar. I feel I better understand your father. No, thank you, friend. Few are the outlanders who would even care to ask. It is good to share these things with you today. Moving to our discussion. Certainly. Where were we? Surely you must have some idea of his whereabouts. Why would you think that? A dwarf who wants to be alone? If a dwarf wants to be alone, then the dwarf stays alone. You're his son and heir. You'd have gone looking for him. And why? He left me to rule a kingdom, and rule it I will. What sort of son would I be to, go running around in the dark, looking for a father who doesn't care? And what has he left behind you? What has he left behind for you, Ranvar? For me, he has left a crumbling clan, its people confused and frightened at the changes in our world, hurt by the abandonment of our clan father and king. It falls to me, to hold us together. You've done your best, Ranvar. Your father would be proud. I'm so very young. My people respect me for STEM. My people's respect for me stems more from my name than my experience. Still, a handful of lodestones weigh more than an armful of prudence. He still tells me that. I mean, he used to. He seems a very wise man. I hope to know him. I believe you enjoy your company. My father is a man of truth, and he respects men cut from the same stone. Thank you. I think it best be going. I must try to find him. No, wait. Yes? I must admit it. You are correct. I do see him almost every day, though he says very little. He lives deep within the Dredge, but I have a hidden passage through which I travel, and within it you will encounter no trouble. Just enter here. There is a secret passage under the throne. I trust you, stranger. I hope find your answers. Do what is right. I pray that he will tell you what you need to know. Must certainly try. Thank you for your help, Randver. And there it is there. That's only if you have a really high persuade, I believe. Well, that was a lot of talking. My goodness. And we're not done yet. I think this is going to be one of those talking episodes. But we got a very important piece of information. And I'm not sure how the hell I'm going to use it. Talking to Randver and learning about the shape and stone is important for what comes next. Now, I'm going to tell... who am I going to tell wait? I don't have enough slots, really, for this. Oh, yes. If you were wondering what's going to happen, actually, no, it won't matter. I can't use them yet. But let's have a look down here. And there is a naked dwarf down here. Because, of course. Why wouldn't there be? I don't know where the music's gone in this.
What? Who dares disturb the exile of Thunder Stone?
Forgive me, your highness. I had no choice but to...
Quiet. This insolence is unforgivable. The violation of my ancient right for solitude in exile is not broken so easily. Your life hangs in the balance, stranger. Speak quickly, lest you taste of the fury of Harrow.
He hefts a double-edged axe from his belt. He has a belt? He has no clothes! Wait a moment. I come here with the blessings of your son.
My son? Randver?
Oh, Randver.
He would dare permit such an affront. I have come here to writhe upon the blade of my sorrow, to live the 1,000 deaths by the ancient right of kings. These laws are passed down through the mountain from the beginning of remembered time. Your life is forfeit to them, as is my own. Do you understand?
Stop. I come with news, the Black Mountain clan.
What? How do you know? Speak quickly. Your life still hangs in the balance.
Fine. I have a story to tell.
I've no words, no words. My crime, it seems, is even more heinous than I thought. I deserve much worse than this mere isolation.
Look, I need to know what exactly had happened.
In all the time since the judgment was passed, I have never spoken of it. My shame has held my tongue. It seems that very shame shall now, finally, bring the betrayal to light.
Please, these elves who approached you, who are they?
A delegation of elves sent from the Silver Lady herself. They came not long after Bates had built his first steam engine. Technology in the hands of the human had spread and advanced at an alarming rate, and the elves were hit first and hardest.
How? What had the spread of technology done to the elves?
Their forests were being cleared with the help of technology. Massive steam-powered clear-cutters. The oldest groves, towering and untouched for thousands of years, were being destroyed without prejudice. I saw much of this with my own eyes. The ancient forest of Morbahan is little more than a graveyard now.
Why did technology spread so fast among the humans?
There are many reasons. Humans, in comparison with the other races, live such short lives. Because of this, I believe that every human action is motivated through fear. The fear of death. You would think that this was a relative issue, that humans would learn to live with this limitation and accept it. This is not true.
And?
And therefore, humans, when confronted with any situation, see it through the veil of their own mortality. Achieve, advance, perform. Humans are constantly driven by the shadow of their own death. This fear, unfortunately, clouds their judgment, deadens their sense of right and wrong. Humans act first, think later, and feel last of all.
And in terms of technology?
When Bates was given a look at our technology, he was overcome. As a human, his first thought was, what can I use this for? When it should have been, what is the cost of its use? Technology exploded in their hands because they are not burdened with our longevity. Humans rarely live long enough to see the consequences of their mistakes.
A fair point. We don't exactly live very long. You mentioned the Silver Lady. Who is she?
The Silver Lady is Mother Queen to the elves.
Mother Queen.
She is very old, much older than I, and very powerful in the ways of magic.
Have you ever spoken to her directly? And she was angered by what happened to the forests?
The delegation told me that she was extremely hurt and angry about the damage that had been done. According to them, because of her age and power, she was hurt the most by the clearing. Her connection to the forests was strongest of all.
You ever spoken to her directly?
No. I'm not sure if any but elven eyes have ever been laid upon her. Over the years, we have corresponded through messengers. Elves and dwarves are very different, and we tend to stay away from one another. But our relationship, as culturally strained as it may be, has always been civil. We don't necessarily understand one another, but we've always respected the differences.
Well, can't say much nowadays. Where does she live?
In Kintara, the oldest city of the elves, somewhere
Kintara.
within the Glimmering Forest.
Somewhere. What are the major differences between dwarves and elves?
I've said before that there is a strong connection between living things and magic, and the magic flows the most strongly in the veins of elves. Dwarves are very different. We feel a strong connection to the earth, but in another way. We love those things which are eternal, unchangeable. Earth, stone, metal. In those things are strength, but not life as you know it.
And the elven delegation? What do they demand of you?
They said that if the Black Mountain clan was not punished, there would be war. War! I told them that a punishment was already being decided upon, and that we, as dwarves, would deal with them. They refused. They claimed rights as the afflicted, and therefore as the judges. They agreed that exile was a suitable punishment, but they wanted to be the vessel of that retribution.
Are the elves a warlike people? Is it in their nature?
No. I know that there was a time of violence many years ago among the elves. But from what I know of them, they are a very rational, peace-loving people. They know that ultimately, war benefits no one. I was very surprised when they came and threatened it.
I see. There seem to be some inconsistencies here.
Yes. The more we talk about it, I begin to get the same feeling. Yes, the elves would have been angry, but would they really have threatened war? Morbahan was a tragedy, but directly affected none of the elven communities. Perhaps my fear blinded me to such things before. And now this mystery. Where are the dwarves of the Black Mountain clan?
What is it you feel, Ogier? Why agree to the terms?
I am very old, stranger. You may know nothing of me, but believe me when I tell you that I've seen enough dwarven blood spilled to fill 1,000 lifetimes. Have you any idea what it would mean for there to be a war between the elves and the dwarves? Arcanum itself would not survive the conflict. And I was so very tired of filling tombs with the bodies of my people.
But
nothing. I chose to spare the dwarves, the world, the price of such a war. What was one clan's honor in comparison with the sheer cataclysm that would result otherwise? You ask what right they had? None. They merely forced a choice, and I chose the path of least resistance, the least pain. That was my betrayal, stranger.
what do you mean? You were merely acting out of concern.
But that is the point. I am king of the dwarves. It is my responsibility to lead them, to protect them. But most importantly, it is my responsibility to defend their honor, their dwarven honor. By allowing my own fear or concern, regardless of how justified that fear might be, to overshadow their honor, was an unforgivable transgression.
Being a king isn't always easy.
Even as king, the choice is never mine as to whether even one dwarf is stripped of his honor. I should have brought this to the people, or just flatly refused from the beginning. I was a coward, a failure, and this exile is my punishment. Given the choice now, I would have waged war against all of Arcanum to uphold the honor of that foolish little clan.
I know. That's because your stone is still true.
What? What do you know of the nature of Dwarven stone? You, an outsider? How could you possibly know of such things?
Randver put his faith in me. Perhaps you could as well.
Perhaps, but you are not even a dwarf. These are beliefs and concepts it takes a lifetime to reconcile. How could you possibly begin to understand how I feel?
I know that it's difficult to live by both stone and shape.
Yes, I know. I've thought long and hard about this. Dwarven stone tells me that any transgression against our honor is unthinkable. But my shape, as king, as their father, told me to protect them. I'd shouldered so much of their pain, I could do it no longer.
But isn't part of life defining that shape, learning from mistakes?
Yes. Your words sound true, stranger. I know that no man is flawless. But I also know that each man's load to bear is different. A larger load carries more responsibility. Mine is heaviest of all. Therefore, the price for my betrayal must be the most costly.
I don't know. You guys play the worst of it?
What? What do you mean?
It's much more costly to face your mistakes and right them.
How then? How can I do so?
You must return to your people. Be true to stone and shape.
By Alberic, you are right. I've been blinded by my own shame and not seen the true betrayal. I've betrayed myself and my people along with me. I shall return, stranger. I shall be king. By the name of Thunderstone, I swear it.
Yay! I didn't think that would work. I'm so very glad, but I still need some information.
Of course. I'll do anything within my power to help you.
These elves who came to you, how can I find them?
As I said, they were supposedly sent from the Silver Lady. I know very little of them. But I do have a name. Perhaps that will be enough for you to uncover this mystery.
What was that name?
The delegation was sent by someone named Mingorad, and I had many correspondences with this elf. Here is a letter that was sent to me by him.
He handed you a letter. Where can I find this Mingorad?
I'm unsure. The entire situation reeks of deception. I would tell you to seek him in Kintara, but I don't even know if the delegation was sent from there or not. Regardless, you may want to begin your search there. The Silver Lady might know of this Mingorad.
Now where is Kintara?
I don't know, unfortunately. The location of Kintara is a well-guarded secret, but I do know it lies within the Glimmering Forest. The small town of Stillwater lies near the edge of that forest. Perhaps there you might find someone who knows where it is. Here, I'll mark your map with Stillwater's location.
Thank you, Logair. I will do my best to find out the truth.
Wait. I'm much to blame for this situation. My fear and cowardice have helped in bringing about this tragedy. I feel I must do something to help you. Please, take Harrow, the first axe of my family. Its blade strikes true and deep in the hands of the righteous, especially if those hands are dwarven. Within it is the strength of the Thunder Stones. I give it to you.
I will put it to good use, and put on Magnus, probably.
I'm sure you will. Godspeed on your quest, my friend. And if you do find out what happened to the Black Mountain clan, return to me. I would be very interested in finding out what really happened to them. Very interested.
I just might do that. Goodbye, Logair. There we go. It took a while, but... Oh, I forgot to get rid of this. It took a while, but... Very nice. Wow, that was a lot of talking. My goodness. This is the note to Laguerre Thunderstone from an elf named Mingorad. Logair, the judgment of the Black Mountain clan has been passed. Make certain that they are the appointed meeting place at the agreed upon time. I speak with the authority of the Silver Lady, Queen of the Elves. If all conditions are not met, we will have to meet upon the field of battle. Mingorad. Excellent. Now I'm going to save here, because just in case it does kick me out. If I go back up, I just want to see how they're doing. Okay, let's keep moving, guys, because we're just in the way.
Greetings. It's good to see you again. And again I thank you. I have assumed my rightful place as King of the Dwarves. I've made peace with my past, but have not forgotten its lessons. Tell me, have you found anything out about the fate of the Black Mountain clan?
Nope, I'm still looking into it.
Well, good luck to you then. And return here if you do find out.
How can I help you?
Talk to Magnus a second.
What do you need to... Yes, this is the Wheel Clan, home of King Logan.
Yeah, tell me nothing new. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we can still do the dredge, and we are definitely going to do so. Oh, I got a fate point. Fantastic. We'll do the dredge and all that, but I'm going to give Magnus this.
How can I help?
Okay, so he has 28 on this now. How about this? Magnus. 20. Not as good, but let me check his stats. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. $28. Yeah, that's better. Although 4 to 18, this does 1 to 12, but this does have electrical damage, which makes up a lot of it. We'll give it a go. Let's see how he does with it. Right. Oh, fuck me. I know I forgot to get rid of something. Chaka, you can have that. You know, you have something else better. Dwarven Steel, Mithril Ore, Steam Engine. Oh boy. Alright then. Next up, we'll be doing the Dredge in earnest. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's a good dungeon. Thank you for listening to me talk. I'm trying to get better about it. I'll see you later. Toodles!